Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the cloud that did not want to be fluffy. Once upon a time, there were clouds in the sky, happy clouds, puffy, white, just a joy to behold, floating across the sky, playing in the wind, and bathing in the sunshine while birds flew in and out of the clouds. And they were all puffy, cumulus clouds. That is what you call a puffy cloud, cumulus cloud, because it accumulates. But there was one cloud, Stanley the cloud. He was a flat nimbus cloud, and he didn't want to be fluffy. When all the other clouds were happy and fluffy and having fun in the sky and going wee, woohoo, wah, woo, and laughing as the birds flew through the clouds and tickling them as they went through with their little tail feathers, the nimbus cloud just sat up there. And one of the fluffy clouds would come up to Stanley and be like, "Stanley, why not come and have fun?" And Stanley would say, "Ugh." And he was a black little nimbus cloud, but he didn't ever rain on people. And so nobody liked Stanley the nimbus cloud. And one day there was a heavy wind. And it started blowing all the happy fluffy clouds. And it turned into a tornado. And all the happy fluffy clouds started getting sucked into the tornado. And they kept circling around and 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 around. Along with that one cow. You know, every time there's a tornado movie, they put one cow going around in the tornado. Yeah. And there were cars and chickens and all kinds of things that were flying around in the middle of that tornado. And all the clouds were screaming as they're going around. And Stanley saw it and he was like, and he jumped into the tornado. And Stanley said, and the tornado started, because Stanley was too strong for the tornado. And all the happy, fluffy clouds went, "Yay, Stanley!" And Stanley went, just holding back the tornado with his arms, his little cloud arms. And Stanley reached down and grabbed the chicken, put it outside the tornado. He went and grabbed the cow, put it outside the tornado, and the cow went, and it ran off. And the chicken went, and it ran off. And Stanley pulled all the clouds out of the tornado. Pulling clouds out. And the clouds are like, wow, Stanley. Who knew? And the tornado's like, I give up. And the tornado gave up and went away. And all the clouds were like, Stanley! And Stanley said, ugh. And the cloud's like, you know what? We got the message. Stanley doesn't want to be fluffy. Stanley doesn't have to be fluffy. But we know Stanley cares. You know what Stanley said? Ugh. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.